Very good day, my dear students. Today we learn about chapter 4, that is your data handling. Let's see. So in this topic we'll learn about data types, operators, mutable and immutable types, and next one is your expressions. Okay, in our previous topic, like in features of Python, we have learned about various type of literals like tokens, whatever is there we have learned. In this part we will learn about data type, operator, mutable and immutable type, and expressions. Okay, next, so let's see. First is data type. What do you mean by data type? Data type in Python specifies a type of data we are going to store in any variable, the amount of memory it will take, and type of operation we can perform on a variable. Data can be of many types. Example, character, integer, real, string, etc. Python supports following data type. First is numbers. In numbers, there could be categorized in three, that is integer, float, and complex. Integer means what? 0 to any number. Next is float means what? The fractional number also could be there. Next is a complex number means what? The number which are negative, positive, as well as complex type, okay, or real integers type. Okay, next is your string. Third one is your list type. Fourth is tuple type, and fifth one is your dictionary type. We'll see one by one. So see, first one is your numbers. From the name, it is very clear that the number data types are used to store numeric values. Okay, so numbers in Python can be of following types. First one is integer. Integers can be categorized in two, that is your integer sign, and second one is boolean. Second one is a floating point number, and third one is a complex number. So integer allow to store whole number only, and there is no fraction parts. Integer can be positive and negative. Example, 100, 250, minus 12, plus 50. Okay, integer sign. What do you mean by integer sign? It is a normal integer representation of whole numbers. Integer in Python can be of any length. It is only limited by memory available. In Python 3.x, int data type can be used to store big or small integer value, whether it is positive or negative. What is boolean? Boolean allows to store only two values, that is true or false. The internal value of boolean value can be true or false, that is true can be classified as 1 and false can be classified as 0 respectively. We can get boolean value from 0 and 1 using the bool function. Okay, this is what your bool function. Using this function we can get the boolean value. Okay, next is your integer, like say bool 1, so it will return what value? True. Int false, so it will return what? 0. str false means it will represent only false. For str function is used to convert argument to string type. So either we have written 1 or 2 or false or anything else. So str means what? It returns the output in string format. So false is just a string, it doesn't represent the boolean. If you write here bool then false, then it will represent as what? 0. Okay, next is floating point number. It allows to store number with decimal points as well. In the integer we can store negative and positive, but not the decimal or fractional part. But if we want to store the fractional part numbers, then we have to use which number type? We have to use floating point numbers. So it allows to store numbers with decimal point. Example 2.14. The decimal point indicate that it is not an integer but a float value. 100 is an integer, but 105 is what? It is a float value. In previous chapter we have already discussed about float values can be of type what? Float. Now fractional form like 200.50, 0.78, these are the fractional form. First, like floating point can be represented first in fractional form and second is exponential form. So 1.5 e2. E2 means what? 1.5 into 10 raised to 2, which is what? 150. Now print x, so what will be printed? 150 will be printed. Next is y, 12.7864 e04. So e04 means what? After point, like it represent into 10 raised to 4. So if we use into 10 raised to 4, then point will be shifted after which digit? 4 digits. So 127865.4 will be represented as what? Output. Okay, next is Floating point numbers are mainly used for storing values like distance, area, temperature, etc., which have the fractional part. Floating point number have two advantages over integer. They can represent values between the integers and they can represent a much greater range of values. But floating point number suffers from one disadvantage also, that is what floating point operations are usually slower than what integer operations. In Python, floating point number represent machine level double precision floating number, that is 15-digit precision. Complex number. Python represent complex number in the form of a plus bj. To represent imaginary numbers, Python use j or j in the place of I. Okay, so in Python, j is equals to root of -1. Both real and imaginary parts are of type what? Float. So example, 0 plus 6j, b is equals to 2.5 plus 3j. So a equal to 4 plus 5j. What will be the printed output? 4 plus 5j will be the output. Okay, 0 plus 2j. What will be the output? 2j. 0 plus anything is what? Anything, no? So 2 plus 2j will be represented. Next is Python allows to retrieve real and imaginary part of complex number using the attribute real and image. Okay. Python allows you to retrieve real and imaginary part of complex number using attribute real and image. If the complex number is a, then we can write a dot real or a dot image, like a is equals to 1 plus 3.54j. So print a dot real. So only real part will be printed. So what will be the real part? Only one will be printed. Now if I have written that a dot image, only imaginary part will be like printed. So only 3.54j will be printed. Okay, we can retrieve the real and imaginary part from the example. Okay, next is your string. So in previous chapter also we have already discussed about string. Let us recall the things. Like string is a collection of any valid characters in a quotation mark. Okay, either in single quote or in double quote, but it should be ended and means it should be started and end with only single quote or double quote. Okay, not one single or one double. Now each character of string in Python is a Unicode character. String are used to store information like name, address, description, etc. For example, this all are what? Your string. Next is, in Python, string is a sequence of character and each character can be individually accessed using index. From beginning, the first character in string is at index 0 and last will be at length -1. From backward direction, last character will be at index -1 and first character will be at minus length. See, like welcome is there. So how the indexing has been done? From forward, it has been started from 0, W is stored in 0, E is stored in 1, L is stored in 2, and likewise it is being stored. If we are doing backward indexing, then it will be not started with 0. It will be started with what? -1, which you should be remembered. Okay. So to access the individual character, we need to have the index. So there are two types of index. First is forward index. When you are using forward index, you have to characterize by using what? From the 0. And if we are using the backward index, then we have to characterize it by using -1. Okay. Next, to access individual character or string or slicing, we can use the syntax string name then index position, like string equal to size. So print string 0. So you will get the output as in the store like stream of 0. In the 0th index, what is stored? S is stored. It will be printed. 3 index, what is stored? S is 0, C is 1. Okay, I is 2, E is 3. So E will be displayed. Next, print string -1. So -1 means backward indexing. So E will be, last one is E. So E will be displayed. So what will the output now? See, string 5. So 5 index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 C will be printed -4. So -1, -2, -3, -4. E will be printed. So minus length string. Length of string. So how much is the length? Length is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 will be the length. Next, string 8. So stream 8 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 is nothing, so 0 will be displayed. Okay. Next, we cannot change the individual letter of string by assignment because string in Python is immutable, and hence if we try to do this, Python will raise an error. Object does not support. Okay. So see, name is equals to Ronaldo, name 1 equal to ISO, it will display error because the string is what? Immutable means what? Which we could not be able to change. Okay, so string, if we have given some string, so we could not be able to change its data. So however, we can assign string to another string, like name equal to Ronaldo and name equal to Beckham. So when you are replacing once Ronaldo, it will display first Ronaldo, but as I have said in the previous chapter, that in Python, if we set the like this is my identifier, no, so the same identifier is being displayed with another data, so it will display the second data, it won't display the first one. Okay, so first one will be cancelled and the second one will be displayed. Okay, so this will not raise any type of error, but we could not change a single character by using this form. Okay. Now list and tuple. What do you mean by list and tuples? List and tuples are the compound data type, that is they allow to store multiple values under one name of different data type. So main difference between list and tuple is list can be changed or modified, that is mutable type, whereas tuples cannot be changed or modified, that is it is what? Immutable type. So here is list. We can have the example. A list in Python represents a list of comma separated values of any data type between square bracket. You should remember the format, that how this all data types are being stored. Okay, this will be utilized in further examples. Okay, you have to remember by here itself. So list is being separated by comma using what? Using these square brackets. Okay, next see the example of this. These are the various example how the list is being displayed. Okay, see, these are the, now the values stored in list are internally numbered from 0 onward, that is first element will be positioned as 0, second will be 1, and so on. So employ that E001 is there, so it will display the first one. Okay, like 0 then 1 number is what? Number. Next, employ 2 equal to 75,000, so 0 1 75 means 50,000 has been reversed with what? 75,000, and when you will print the new employee data, then 50,000 will be replaced with what? 75,000. Okay, and you can have the length of employer as well, so length will be what? 1 2 3 4, so 4 values are being stored in this list. Okay, next is tuple. Tuple as those lists which cannot be changed, that is not modified. Tuples are defined inside parentheses. Okay, a small difference. There are two differences you can identify till now. First, list is what? Your mutable type. Okay, so till now you have identified two differences between list and tuple. First one, list is the mutable type, and second one is tuple is your immutable type. In list, the data is being started with the square bracket, whereas in tuples the data is being started with what? Your parenthesis. Okay, so there are two differences. Like see, if you want to insert the tuple, then you have to write accordingly. Okay, like blue, cricket, gajar ka halwa, and this all things are there, so you can have the comma separated data and using what? Your parenthesis. Okay, so it will be printed. If you want that like student is there, so print favorites, this will be printed and student will be printed according to this. Okay, so next is your like list tuples values are also internally numbered from 0. So favorite of 1, so favorite of 1 means what? Cricket. 0 1, so cricket is stored here, so it will be displayed. Now print student 2, 0 1 to 97.5 will be displayed, so according to that. Now here also you could not be able to change the data because it is what? Immutable type. Okay, now dictionary is another feature of Python. It is an unordered key of comma separated key or value pairs. Dictionary item are identified in curly brackets. Okay, like see, roll and roll number is 1, name is Jagga. Okay, according to that you have to identify, like print roll number of 1, name is Jaga, percentage is 91.5. okay, so according to that you have to separate it. okay, key will be represented as single quotes, then if it is of number then no need to write it in double quotes. If it is an of string then you have to write with double quotes, and the key and value pair is there. One data is being represented as key and value, so key is being represented in single quotes with a colon, and then value will be displayed here. See, this name is key, then Jaga is value, key is per, then colon, then 91.5 is value. So when you will print the student, it will print whole data. If you print the student per, only per data you want to display, so it will display 91.5. okay, so according to that this is being displayed. Dictionary is mutable, we can modify dictionary value, like value of 2 equal to 1000. So value of 2 means 0 1 2, value of 2 will be, can be changed. okay, see, this is being changed. So we'll move further topic in next class. Thank you.